G'day, folks. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. Sorry for the look, but I had a major catastrophe on my main computer machine, and as a result, I'm doing my emergency backup. So here we go, emergency backup on board. Welcome aboard to those who did try and get into the other stream. I do apologize. We're talking to you from here. This is Sean from Helping Hands for Cruising, and there we go. I'm using my laptop as we speak, and as you can see, I'm in the partial green room. G'day, Joe. How you going? Welcome aboard, buddy. Nice to have you here, folks. I do apologise. I am using the emergency setup, so I will attempt to make this as awesome as I possibly can, and let's get stuck in. Well, folks, news to date. We have our 501c3 going. We've had some exciting things happen in the last week. We've had some info on cruises happening. In fact, just to give you a heads up, young Mr. Kenny, who was our first recipient, young Mr. Kenny is cruising in, I believe it's 13 days. 13 days, can you believe that? 13 days, unbelievable. So there he is. He'll be cruising out. Amy has got her recipient, and I believe we've had Roxanne, who that is her name, Roxanne. I believe we've had Roxanne on Amy's live and a couple of other people's lives as well, getting her organised and ready for that fantastic cruise that she's going on, which will be on the 21st of October 2024, going on the Carnival Breeze out of Galveston. So Amy's really excited about that one. So I can tell you there's a few people excited. G'day, Meg. What are you doing up at this time of the morning? Hopefully you're having a good time. Next, we've got, of course, the Down Under Cruises group cruise going on, and that'll be exciting. What can I say? That's going to be on the 2nd of January 2025, and then we've got, now I believe Bruce from Ocean to Ocean has got himself organised with his group cruise happening on the 15th of June 2025, and that's going from Seattle all the way through to Alaska and back. Yes, Meg, I know. I did invite you if you were still awake, and I was hoping that you might have actually fallen asleep and slept through the show. But these things happen. Okay, now we still don't have a final bit of info, and I'm hoping we get that final info on the group cruise going out with the Rock and Roll group cruise, because that'll be absolutely amazing when it does happen. All right, now Joe says, hey again, Sean, accidentally removed my hey from the chat on my phone. Joe, I would always accept your hey, not even once, not even twice, but 1,000 times. It's nice to have you on board. We have one Aussie and one Yank. And I know that there's a whole heap of people in the background who are watching but not partaking. Unfortunately, today we're not on our Facebook purely because I had a major catastrophe with my other machine, and it crashed on me, and it hasn't got up yet in time for me to actually do the live on the invited live. So I thought I'd just let it slide, because if you go over 5 minutes, I think it is, on Facebook, it makes you recreate the whole stream. So I thought I'd just do it on the Helping Hands for Cruising live. So there we go. Okay, so give you a little bit of heads up right now. We've had Oh shucks, I'm getting a big head here. I won't get into my bedroom now. I know a good way to fix it, Joe. All you got to do is clean your ears, and then it'll pop the bubble, and all the air will come out, and you'll be able to fit in the door. Um, so there we go. So as I was saying, we've had a little bit of a hiccup with the rock and roll cruise, with the ship that we were going to go on. We're still waiting to find out further info, and I believe we should be getting that info fairly shortly. So I've got everything crossed, even my whatchamacallits, because my voice is normally a bass, and now I feel like I sound like I'm a soprano. Anyway, that is the news that's happening on that front. Now, Meg is saying, sorry, does that work? No, it doesn't work. Okay. Sorry, she slept from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. She's resting everything and working things out. And resetting, I beg your pardon, resetting everything and working everything out. And I can tell you, Meg, whatever you do, I'm proud of you, girl. You're doing great. Joe is having a giggle. I'll have to camp in my computer room. Mate, that's not even a fate worse than death. I could think of plenty of things I'd be doing in my computer room. All clean, of course. So I'm just downing a coffee. What are you drinking, Joe? Meg, what are you drinking? Hopefully it's something just as nice as the coffee I just made, because I think I made the best coffee this evening. It was the only coffee I made this evening. So there we go. Okay. So with all those cruises, now the cruise talk, obviously lots of cruises are coming down under, lots of ships are coming down under, and I believe end of this year, beginning of next year, we're starting to get some of the newer builds. So, for example, we'll be getting the Discovery will be coming down under. I believe that we've got the Disney Wonder here right now. We will have the Resilient Lady down in Melbourne fairly shortly. And of course, Carnival have sent two of their oldies down. They're oldies but goodies. They're the ones that normally do the Australian run. So not the Venezia, the Luminosa and the Splendor are down here. So there's a fair bit of cruising that's going to be happening out of Oz right now. Our season has just started. September, October is the start of the Australian cruising scene. So we'll be getting a bucket load of shipping happening backwards and forwards. Now, I believe Princess are looking at keeping a cruise ship down under permanently. So whether they do a swap over every now and then of a cruise ship, but I believe we're going to be keeping a cruise ship down under. Don't know whether it's the Grand or the Coral or any of the others, but that's the news we've got to date so far. Excuse me. Having said that, folks, what can I say? There's other exciting things happening, and yes, obviously I can't show you any videos because I don't have them on this particular machine. But I was going to actually get you in with the standard Helping Hands for Cruising, Helping Hands for Cruising theme video, unfortunately. And I was going to get you also with a little bit of an exciting one, because I was going to actually put a video on that had Gary Anderson from Cruising Scene with Travel in Between. I was going to have him do a song, because he's written a song specifically for Helping Hands for Cruising, and I was going to play that. But you know what? All good plans laid to rest. But that's okay. We'll fix it up and we'll get things happening. And thank you for the love hearts. But yes, it was a thought. Anyway, what can I say? These things happen. we're there to move on and do some happy things. Now, I believe that there are some plans afoot. Now, there is a board meeting for those involved with Helping Hands for Cruising for the board. There is a board meeting happening this weekend. And once we have this board in process, well, that's interesting. Yeah, once the board happens, we will have some exciting things happening. So the good news is we will be having a cruise-a-thon happening to get some funds in. We will be trying to get some other great fundraising benefits happening. So let's see how we go. Joe is saying Great Northern alcoholic ginger beer is being consumed here. And Meg is into the tea. Hang on, Great Northern alcoholic ginger beer? I didn't know they made a ginger beer. Is it good? Joe, you got to send us some of the stuff, because I don't know what you guys get, what you guys make up there or get up there. So it would be nice to try some. At any rate, yeah, this is it. You know, we're trying to do our best. We're trying to get things organised for the fundraisers. We just need to make sure that everybody's on board, everybody's at hand, and we can spread the word huge. In terms of what's happening down under, we're still having some issues with getting information up, but as soon as that happens, we shall be registered as a similar to a 501c3 in the US. It will be a similar thing down under. Joe is going, yep, it's a new product from Great Northern Brewing from Queensland. By the way, Dan Murphy should have it. Beer, Wine and Spirits, BWS, or Dan Murphy. Now, BWS is a Woolworths company, Woolies. I think they just sold it off. It and Dan Murphy's, they sold those off, but they did own them at one point. Too bad Jimmy's not watching. Too bad Jimmy's on a cruise, on the booze cruise, because he likes this mug. It's a New Hampshire mug that was given to me by John from JNN Travels. So there we go. Again, I would like to apologise to everybody who might be out on the other streams that we'd set up originally, but technical issues have caused me to do this. So here we go. So at any rate, we want to get as many recipients on board, but the only way we can do that is by getting funds in there. So in the thumbnail for the other stream, there should be some QR codes. And if you have a look at those QR codes, you'll be able to download from there, and it should be great. Should be able to get it. The green looks good on you. Thank you, Meg. You should see what the green does to me when I've actually got a proper setup happening. But no, I don't have a proper setup right now, so we'll do with what we can at this particular point in time. Sorry about that. Green is my favourite colour, by the way. So thank you for the hearts. As I say, green is my favourite colour. So there we go. Okay, so in terms of HH4C info right now, we are a little bit scarce on the ground. We're still waiting on some things to come into place. So, you know, it's all good. It's all good stuff happening. And once we get it all up and running, we should be extremely excited. Now, let me do something here, because if I do this, then I should be able to see the writing a lot better than I can see it here, because it'll be on a bigger screen. The machine has come up, but it's no point in me bringing up the EV Mux to do the communication with it, because what will happen is it'll bomb out on the it'll bomb out on the Facebook display. So I might as well just let it happen this way, and we shall go from there. Now, where are we? There we go. I'll bring that up on there. I've got my microphone out of the way. I've got, there we go. I've got to sign in here because it didn't sign in for me. There we go. Let's do that one. And let's do that one. And let's do that one. And then I'll be able to see exactly what's going on. I may not hear it, but there we go. Meg's putting up the website. Awesome. Yeah, I know the feeling, Joe. I know the feeling. Restarting your computer. I know the feeling. It's never fun in the sun. Anyway, here we go. Let me just do this. Let me just do, no, I don't want to do that. I want to, oh yeah, wrong one. I need to get out of this one. Don't you just love it when a plan comes together? Create a channel. I'm in the channel. You are my channel. All right. Let me get out of here for the minute. Let me do this on another one. I shall do a temporary one of the. No, I won't do the rest of. I'll do this. If I do this, then I can actually see what's going on. Okay, get out the way. Get out the way. Let me do this. Let me do this. Awesome. Now I can see what's going on. There we go. And there's the chat. Awesome. Okay, so thank you, Meg. It's www.helpinghands4Cruising.org is the website, and there's a good way that you can actually get your donations in as well. And not only that, but it's also a good opportunity for you to also find out more details about what's going on with Helping Hands for Cruising. Get your merch as well. You can get merch. You won't get a t-shirt like this, but what you can get is a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, and there's a whole heap of other things in there that would help with getting funds into Helping Hands for Cruising, so we can get more people like Roxy, like Kenny, like James Catanese and his wife Cindy, like Scott and Amber Hicks. You know, all these opportunities for getting more and more people on board a cruise ship. Because those of us that have cruised, those of us that love cruising, know exactly just what it's all about to jump on a cruise ship and unpack a bag for a week or two and just see the world. You know, picture this, guys, sitting on your balcony, you're watching the sunrise, a knock on the door, your breakfast gets brought in, and there you are on the balcony eating your breakfast and watching the world go by. Man, I cannot think of a better way to have a holiday, a vacation, a rest. And that's primarily what we're trying to get people to do, is give people who have never, ever had the opportunity in their life to have that opportunity. And let me tell you, Kenny was one of those. Kenny had never even seen the beach. He wouldn't even see the sea. He'd never had the opportunity to get that kind of experience. Look at him now. He's going on his second cruise in 10 days, I believe. 10 days. Seriously. I believe he's going to be doing it on what we call Remembrance Day, 11th of the 11th. But there we go. Absolutely exciting. So that's one reason. I mean, look at this example here. We've got Scott and Amber, who devoted their time to helping out young Mr. Kenny earlier on. when they were doing some repairs to his place, and they took him in, they cared for him, and what a better deserving couple than them to actually get on board a cruise ship. Um, James and Cindy, life has not treated them well, and we had the opportunity of putting them on board the same cruise ship that we put Scott and Amber on, and I can tell you now, it certainly changed some lives. The benefit of putting people on board a cruise ship certainly changes some lives. I mean, just think of this. Kenny didn't know what was under the water until somebody, Donovan, sat down and explained to him about the whole of life underneath the water. Didn't even know. Some people don't even know that there's other places outside of their backyard because that's all they've been exposed to. And here we are giving them an opportunity to cruise around the world, see a different place, wake up in a different location, go and see somebody else's culture, not on their own, part of a group. And the best way to learn about a place is when you're with a group of people. Some have been there, some haven't. For example, when we do the Ducks cruise, the Down Under Cruises group cruise in January of 25, we're actually organising. There are 3 places: Namibia, Vanuatu, Namibia, Vanuatu, and Fiji. And when we get to Fiji, because Ilana has actually lived there, she's going to organise for us an excursion around there, which we should have an absolute ball. Go and look at places around the world that are different. Excuse me. Because at the end of the day, what makes us so special? Joe, 12 CFA trucks and 2 support vehicles passed through Dubbo today on their way to Queensland to support the QFES, that's the Rural Fire Service in Queensland, their counterparts. Man, their fire is getting really big, right? It's still sort of West Queensland, isn't it? Or is it heading down towards New South? It's not good. Those fires are not good. But then we did warn people of a fire season happening this year because it's going to be hot and dry, hot and dry. I mean, you Americans have done it for us beforehand. Those of you across the pond, those of you on our side of the pond, we've got to experience it too. I mean, we've experienced it, gosh, about 4 years ago, 3 years ago. We go in waves and it happens. So getting back to the cruising side of things, we want to get to the point where, folks, and I'm hoping you can help me out here, but we're wanting to get to the point where we've got at least a cruise happening a year, at least. Some people have taken me way over my comfort zone and said, okay, let's get a cruise happening every month. And if we do that, that's going to be awesome. Joe's saying there's lots of them out there. One of the fires in Queensland jumped the border into New South today. That's not good. That's not good because that's like hectares and hectares and hectares of land that's being affected. And that's not good at all. Anyway, we can only but pray that the fires will be doused fairly quickly or at least got under control, and we can have the summer we deserve to have, which is an awesome summer. Have lots of fun in the sun and do all the right things that we want to do. So, getting back to where I was. So what I was saying was, with all the shipping that's happening down under, we want to start getting some more recipients on board ships here. We would ask that folks to donate in the currency that they are most comfortable with. So those that are on our side of the fence, please put in Aussie dollars so that we can then use those Aussie dollars to pay for Aussie cruises. Those on the other side of the pond, please go into USD, because then the USD will be used, obviously, to pay for US cruises. Joe is saying it's not good. I was talking to a friend of his earlier, and he said that, excuse me, there's a fire at Tabalin, which is 40 kilometers west of his property. Oh, wow. That's not good. Well, our prayers go out to him, mate. Our prayers go out to him. Please, God, we douse those flames real quick. Okay, so as I was saying, getting people onto cruise ships down under will be absolutely awesome. We're already getting people onto cruise ships on the other side of the pond. What I really want to do is on the other side of the lake, get people onto a cruise ship there. I'm talking about people in the UK. So if we can get some support for HH4C there, that would be exciting. But that'll only happen with time. What do you reckon? Yeah? If it happens, it happens. That's all I can say. Excuse me. Love to get things happening around the world. Would like to have a ship going out, or a Helping Hands for Cruising cruise going out of the UK, one out of the US, one out of Australia. Hey, and maybe even say one out of Asia if that happens. But we need to actually crawl before we can walk, and right now we're learning to crawl. So there we go. So having said that, folks, today's going to be a real short one, just enough to whet the appetite. But I will say, folks, for all people around the world, whether they be outback New South Wales, outback Queensland, outback Montana or Miami or Israel or wherever, can we please look at the principle of having a peaceful life at some point, so that people can do what their potential really is, which is live and thrive, and not figure out ways to eliminate each other because they come from the wrong side of the fence, a la Ukraine, Russia, Gaza, Israel, Wangaratta and Sydney, etc., etc. Can we please head in the right direction of peaceful living? And I'll say this again, folks. Let's get cruising. The more people we put on a cruise ship, the better. If we can get like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people on board a cruise ship, if we can get thousands of people on board a cruise ship, just think how many people we could, or how many potential arguments we could put out the window. How many countries? Let's put countries on board a cruise ship. Get them to learn about, wait a minute. Let's get the leaders of these countries on board a cruise ship and get them to see what's on the other side of the fence. And then maybe we might have some peace. What do you reckon? What do you reckon, folks? For those that will be watching on the replay, put it in the comments, For those that will be watching live, put it in the chat. Let's have a look at ways that we can get things moving in the right direction. Because if we're moving in the right direction, what better way to live? Let the arguments be, shall we get on a carnival ship today or should we get on a Royal Caribbean? What about a princess ship? What about a Norwegian? Do we go on the booze cruise or do we go on the non-group cruise? Non-group cruise, group cruise. That's it. Do we jump on a Helping Hands for Cruising chartered group cruise, or do we just jump on a cruise? Any cruise. Who cares what? Who cares where it goes? Who cares what it does? As long as we can get to see the world, we can get to enjoy each other's company, we can get to eat some great food, and we can get to educate people that there's more to life than work. And I can quite honestly say to you folks, a bad cruise is way better than a good day at work. And for that, we need to give people who never had that opportunity the opportunity. And so, with that in mind, folks, I'm going to end the stream now and say, those that have popped in, thank you for popping in. Those who will do so later on, thank you for coming into the replay. And hey, talk to friends. Let the friends have an opportunity to put some dollars in, and you never know, they may know somebody who deserves a cruise. Let's get them cruising with the best of us. Have an awesome day, folks, and we shall catch you later.